Greetings and salutations, accounting technology watchers, and welcome to another edition of Accountech Bytes. Plenty going on, as usual, in the world of accounting technology, so let's get straight into it. Heading across the pond to the collapsed Silicon Valley Bank. So this is the startup and fintech-friendly bank that hit the buffers over the weekend, and the sort of fallout behind that. At a time of recording, over in the States, I think the regulators still have their hand on the tiller. UK-wise, HSBC bought the subsidiary for £1, but I think the bank's collapse has both exposed some fragility at the heart of the sort of tech ecosystem, and also I guess speaks to a wider banking, well, let's not say banking crisis yet, but maybe a mini crisis. So yes, I spoke to Kirsty McGregor over at Capitalize, who very much considered it a warning shot for accountants. You might not have clients who were SVB customers, but if you have clients who are e-commerce sellers, so Kirsty mentioned the likes of Etsy, who used SVB to disperse funds. So they put out a message about delays in processing payments. This obviously causes cash flow issues. Some of the large payment mechanisms bank with SVB. So more delays, more cash flow issues, and I guess wider again, where we're looking at the whole banking ecosystem. So it's very much something to be aware of. It's an education piece, a shot across the bows, if you like. So looking at what could go wrong for clients and how to fix it. So lots of advice in there. So do check this piece out. Link in the description to this video. What's next? I took a look at a study commissioned for HMRC about making tax digital. So yeah, I think this study was looking at how businesses choose MTD compatible software, particularly when they were moving across from the sort of HMRC portal to commercial software used for MTD. And yeah, I guess there was a lot of shall we say, interesting feedback. So I think confusion from users about, finding out about the project, first of all, what it was for, what the purpose of it was, and then choices about sort of software choices. So HMRC presented in this big long list, and then picking what's appropriate for you. And then there was frustration about the pricing. Some things that were priced as free were actually on sort of freemium models. So yeah, I think overall a fair bit of frustration around there. A little plug next for my webinar on Tuesday 1 o'clock. What is on Accountant Spring shopping list? So join myself, Aaron and Dishant to take a look at that. Should be a good session. Some wider news now. Ignition, the sort of onboarding pricing app. Emma Crawford Falicano is stepping down as their EMA MD. So Ignition, so I think she had been on maternity leave since September and has now made that step back permanent. Will Dutton steps in. In the meantime, very best of luck for the future, Emma. Ignition obviously growing a lot over the last couple of years, took on that $50 million funding last year, but earlier this year have had to cut 10% of their staff as part of this wider tech downturn. So product updates for you now, and Aurelia, the automation and workflow specialists, have a couple of new bits and pieces for us. So they have introduced a conditional if block. So that allows you to add this if block to your workflow. So one workflow can now support more complex situations and use cases. For example, setting up different sales invoices depending on country of sale. You can also create companies and add multiple bank accounts from the same provider. And they've also automated the process of retrieving data from invoices sent to their specific invoice inbox, so sucking data out of the inbox, invoices in the inbox. A little video there for you. KeyPay, the cloud payroll tool, is rebranding to Employment Hero. So Employment Hero bought them, I think, back in December 2021. And the Employment Hero being this big overall sort of HR productivity payroll tool. So I guess KeyPay is being subsumed into the brand, but I'm sure will still remain that a decent payroll tool. Intuit has launched a QuickBooks Small Business Index. So that is a monthly indicator of employment and hiring among small businesses. So I guess similar to Xero Small Business Index. I think that sort of tracks various other stats, like sort of late payments and things like that. But the Intuit Small Business Index, let's take a look. So small business vacancies, let's take a look at them in the States. Looking sort of red over there. Green, I guess, is an improvement, growth rate. Let's take a look at the UK. And all red everywhere. So if you're interested, do check out the link in the description. Onto the AI section. Spoiler alert, there's a lot in there. Here is meme of the week. So here's a Google AI announcement, the bus on the tracks, as it were, and here comes GPT-4. Wham! The Google announcement was that Google launched generative AI across all their Google Workspace. As a Google Workspace user for work, this is quite interesting. There's a little video here that I've got for. Let's see if I can play that. There we go. I've no idea if the sound will come through or not. Doesn't really matter. So personalized message for your clients here on Google Sheets. It creates a personalized message there for you. I don't know how I feel about that really, but it's coming. So there you go. Let's see if I can pause it now. Pause. There we go. And here comes the GPT-4 freight train. Wham! So OpenAI announced the latest version of its chatbot, ChatGPT chatbot. So this one can respond to images. So I guess what was made headlines was that you could show it some photographs of a couple of ingredients and it'll tell you what it can make with them. So sort of image recognition. But I guess, yeah, and similar to Google, Microsoft, that has a big stake in OpenAI now, is rolling it out to its Office 365 suite, as it were. But the Steve Jobs, one more thing, was very much that it could prepare your, well, I'm going to be careful here. The OpenAI president, Greg Brockman, had said it had fed it the 2018 US tax code. Then they presented it with a fictional couple's income, and it calculated the correct tax liability for them, which was quite impressive. More on that coming soon on Accounting Web. Yeah, another claim made by OpenAI, GPT-4 will beat 90% of you in an exam. And Stuart Cobb, he mentioned him on these videos and on the site before. He was the one who ran GPT-3 or 3.5 through an ICAW ACA paper. It just failed. The new iteration has passed. Thank you for doing that, Stuart. Kieran Phelan, Northern Irish cloud accountant extraordinaire, is being the voice of reason in all this. He's sort of saying, yep, AI, garbage in, garbage out. AI doesn't do empathy. Thank you for that. Kieran, and finally, the Times reporting that officers of the future may have sound that follows you around. So what do we have? What was my favourite quote from this. It was around the fact that your personalised, it would provide you with sort of personalised sound a soundscape that would encourage you to calm down or be more creative in that, rather than the sort of cacophony that was the office cacophony that was going on. Yes, random cacophony. That was what I was looking for. Sounds like a sort of a 90s indie band, but there we go. Anyway, I promise not to assail your ears with any random cacophony. If you sign up for my accounting technology email, do pop your address in the box there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.